I met a gypsy.
Yeah, the fans thing must have been kind of weird to go from kind of being like in such an obscure, you know, like you're driving out of Loretta's before you even get your trophy, you know, like there's probably not a point where when you're a kid you thought you'd actually have like fans and stuff, and then to be, I guess, embraced the way that you are now by fans. Like what was it like to start getting Stank Dog fans?
Dude, like it was wild. Like I can remember is when I qualified on the YC125 at Budds Creek in 2015, and I went from like 3,500 followers on Instagram, and I didn't even have phone service there, so it was like 24 hours of no phone service, to getting home and I had 3,000 followers on Instagram, and I was like,
wow.
Holy shit, like this is fucking awesome. Like I'm gaining fans from riding this. Like this is fucking a good feeling. Like I honestly couldn't believe it, and I was like, dude, this is fucking awesome. And like the support I'm getting, like not only am I doing this for myself now, like riding the two-stroke from growing up, like now I'm doing this for other people. Like this is fucking sick. Like I can't believe how many people I'm supporting now because of like how many older cats, you know, older heads that are like, dude, you're fucking living my dream. Like you're fucking out there on the two-stroke ripping long
That's
hair.
sick.
Like you're having fun. Like, dude, it's like, that's still keeping me going to this day. Like we're next year we're doing full 125 two-stroke and 250 two-stroke and Supercross. We're doing one of the coast on a 250 and the other coast on a 125, and then doing 125 on outdoors. So we're gonna, you know, give the fans what they want and go back to my roots and can just have fun again.
Dude, that's fucking sick. So what is riding national tracks like Budds Creek and Red Bud and Southwick, and like you've just got all these iconic tracks? What is it like actually riding them on a 125 on a national prep? Is it fun as still?
Dude, honestly, I think it's funner because it's like so gnarly and prepped. So it's like you're just out there, you're line searching. It's like you're not taking the lines that they're taking because they're so deep and rutted, you know, like you have no power, no torque on that 125, or even if you're out there on the 252 stroke, you know, you don't take the lines that they're taking. So it's like you're riding a completely different track, and versus like if you've been there on a 4-stroke before and then you go there on the 2-stroke, it's like, holy shit, it's a new track to me because I'm riding completely different lines, but it's so much fun riding it on the 125 because you're riding a new track every time you go to it because the prep's different every time. But it's like just line searching, inside, outside. Don't hit their lines. Don't hit the ruts that they've created, or it's going to bog you down. Like, but then again, at the same time, you're thinking like, I'm riding this most legendary, iconic track that a 2-stroke hasn't ridden on in how many years. And then like, you know, and it's like you got all these fans that are coming out there like, oh my god, a fucking 2-stroke, like I haven't heard one of these on this track in 10 fucking years. And they're like, that's a good feeling too. It's like, holy shit, like let's go 2-stroke. Like Luke Rensland, Carson Brown, we all need to ride 2-strokes. Let's start a movement, us 3 guys next year, and then every person from there on out. Privateer, I'm telling you, you will make more money, you'll have more fun riding a 2-stroke than you do your fastest race bike you ever built, and it will save your parents and your sponsors thousands of dollars.
Dude, that's the ad right there for 2-strokes. So with the 125 itself, like, how good can you make a 125 these days against those 250Fs? And what is it actually like racing a full race bike? Is it just they're so much out of the 125's league, or like you can get the thing going?
Oh, dude, I mean, if you can ride the 125 right, fully like wringing its neck on the top end the whole time, keeping it on the pipe and never let it go down, it's like a third of what a race bike is, in my opinion. Like,
whoa.
Dude, that's my opinion. Like,
Shit.
it's if you can ride the race bike to its potential, you know, like me, for example, I'm not any faster on a 250F versus a 125. It's just the way I ride the bike. It is what it is. But there's guys that just have that, you know, that factory bike where that bike is so much lighter. It's probably the same amount of weight as my 125. Their race 250s are, you know, and then twice the amount of power, if not 3 times the amount of power. So just like the disadvantage it is just on the track, the track lines that you get to take on the 250F race bike versus the 125, it's outrageous the amount of power that race bikes have versus a 125. Even my privateer race bike, like, you know, I got great motor builders behind me, Jim Hasker, and it's a good privateer bike, and it shits on my 125, and he builds 125 too, and it's fast. My 125s are faster than off the 4 125, you know, like it's got every bell and whistle you can make, and it's fast as shit. But compared to a 250F, no, not even. It's not even comparable. Not even comparable. Like, especially in the bottom end where it's soft ground, soft dirt, and if there's ruts, those 4-strokes just outpower the 2-strokes, double or nothing.
That is insane. So then think about this. James Stewart, 125.
That right there, just how he could race against all 4-strokes and come from last to first or mid-pack to first, fall down 4 times, and still win. That shows speed and talent. Like, he could have been on a fucking 65 and would, no matter what, he would have made that shit happen. Like, just the the significant power loss he had versus those guys. I don't care, even if those 4-strokes weren't that great that in those years, they were still faster than that 125, hands down, 100%. It's like, dude, that dude was kicking your guys' ass on a bike that's half the power. Like, it's amazing, because like there's no other way. I don't care if you found the best 125 2-stroke rider out there in the world right now, that he wouldn't. I don't think he could top 10 on the 250F class in the outdoor motocross. No way. Just how much faster those bikes are. Like, I don't think you could get a good enough start on a 125 versus that many 250S. Like, you gotta have that raw speed. You gotta be that Stewart.
Yeah, I was watching, like I said, the 2-stroke vids last night, and at Glen Helen, man, like, there was a guy, you were halfway up one of the hills when he came out of the inside right.
Jeremy Martin.
Yeah, and then by the end,
Jeremy Martin on the Star Yamaha.
Yeah, and I'm just like, fuck, that's heavy, dude. Like, heavy.
Literally by the end of the up, like, he's like 10 bike lengths behind me at the bottom of the hill, and like by the top of it, he's 4 bike lengths in front of me. It's like, yeah, that's like 5 seconds right there on one section of the track. And it's like, it's not like I wasn't going slow up the hill, you know. It's like I was wide open, giving the bike everything it had, you know, until its fullest potential. And he's doing the same thing, but just motors right by me.
Yeah, man, that was like one clip where you could just fully see the difference. And yeah, it's like, I think it speaks to how fucking rad of a person you are, though, to just be able to go out there and every single time, you know, like, you just know you're going to be battling tooth and fucking nail just to get into the show. Like, that takes a pretty fucking rad dude to accept that shit every weekend.
Yep, it sucks that I accept that I'm going to eat roost for an hour straight, know that I'm going to be from the 20 to 30 mark. Like, if qualifying, that was the hardest thing, just qualifying, getting it in, you know, in the top 36 without having to do the LCQ. But then, like, knowing once I got in the motos, I'm not going to get a good start. I'm probably going to come around the corner almost last, you know, and it's just fucking give it hell, give it everything you can, eat as much roost as you can, make it enjoyable that you're eating roost and your face looks like brownies after, like you're pulling every tear off that's on your goggles. Just, you accept it, you go out there, the fans are cheering louder for you than anyone out there on the track. Like, I was listening to a podcast. I forget which podcast it was, and it had Adam Cincerillo on it. And it was in 2016. He was in the 250 class, and he's like, hey, I was on the parade lap one time, and I forget which track we were at. And he's like, these fans were going nuts. They were going bananas. And I look over to wave at him, and I look who's next to me, and it's Stank Dog on the 125 two-stroke. He's like, they were cheering for him, not me. He's like, yeah, dude, like, it's fucking unreal.
Dude, yeah, it is pretty fucking cool. And I don't know, man, like, it obviously just inspires people. Like, there's obviously just something in it, you know? Like, there's an obvious nostalgia for two strokes, but I just think, like, I don't know, the way that you go and... Because I feel like if you took it seriously, and not that you don't take it seriously, but if you were competitive about it, and like you come in after the moto and you were like, fuck, I knew I could have got this guy, I could have done that, fucking this happened. Like, I don't know, just... Even though you're on a 125, even though you're doing the two-stroke thing, I just don't think the effect would be the same. Like, I just fully think it takes your personality and how laid back you are, and like you just embrace, you know, what you said. You just got to make it fun that you're gonna eat roost. Like, I think it's not just the fact that you're on the two-stroke, but I think it's the way that you go about being on the two-stroke as well. That just like it makes it fun for everybody.
Yeah, I agree. It's like it's who I am. It's like my vibe. Like that's what I put off as 1970s to 1990 early two-stroke motocross is like how I feel. Like I feel like I'm born in the wrong era a little bit, but just like I get to bring it back, and it's like that cool feeling of the two-stroke being back out there and the fans cheering it on. Just the vibe. Like it's kind of like my soul. It's my roots, man.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.